Hello viewers, welcome to Arts Television. Welcome to a special edition of the Purple Dragon segment right here on this channel. And today it's my honor and privilege to be in the company of most of the top brass in the Purple Dragon family here. And we have the chief man himself, and you will make him out because he's in a different color. Happy independence to Professor Jacob, and he's wearing his red. Professor, it's an honor and privilege to be speaking with you again and to be in your company.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be in your company.
And we have the Shians, I guess these are the Shians who really hold the Dragon family together. And we start with Shian Gary Hunt, second honor. Shian Thompson, Shian Little, and Shian Hugh.
Thank you very much.
The last time we spoke was minus Professor when we came back from the Japan tour. And that was just a brief interview. And we had promised to do an extensive interview telling Trinidad and Tobago, the public and the rest of the Tobago family about what went on in Japan. Now, I'm not going to pose any question to any individual. We're going to be discussing what happened here in Japan 2014. Because I'll start with you, but I wish you want to come in anytime and give an interact. Japan 2014, what was the experience like?
Well, George, again, thank you for having us on your influential channel. Japan was a real good experience for us. I've been to Japan times before, but I was happy to take 46 of my students from 6 countries where Purple Dragon being housed and home to Japan with me. And inclusive of those students were martial arts practitioners and guys took their wives, or their husbands, children with them. So it was a family bonding as well. So the trip was a trip for learning, but it was bringing people of different cultures and consciousness together, George. We spent 2 weeks in Japan, and that 2 weeks was really filled with learning in terms of the discipline that we so desire and crave in Trinidad and Tobago and in first world countries. When you go to places like Japan, you could see pretty much what you would like, what you're looking for. And so that was one of our experiences in terms of the discipline. And so I would, come back in a little later, but I would let my guys talk about, what was their experience, our experiences in Japan.
So let me start with Shian. Your experience. Is it the first time?
Yes, it was the first time, but it didn't feel like the first time because my teacher, as a little child, will always lecture to us about Japan.
So you knew what to expect?
Yeah, well, yes.
Tap on.
Yes, because when they tell you about it, when they show you the different things, so it was a question of showing it. What it is, Professor showed us is that Purple Dragon could influence our country, Trinidad and Tobago, to the point where we can have a paradigm shift. It showed us where discipline, when we learn Jiu-Jitsu in Trinidad and Tobago, and we go on, we have all protocols in the dojo. When we leave the dojo, we go into a different world. However, in Japan, the dojo is everywhere. It showed us where the discipline, it doesn't stop at the entrance of the dojo or the exit of the dojo. It transcends into the entire society. And it showed us the possibilities if we take that discipline. Our watchword in Trinidad is discipline, the first one, but we don't practice it. But we practice it in the dojo, we were taught it in the dojo. And if we are able to take that out, which we are doing in all the communities we serve in Trinidad and Tobago, we are making a difference. We're going to create a paradigm shift over time. And with more participation, I think it will be greater and greater. Japan as a society showed us the possibilities. That place has no natural resources. And what they have done with their society, their infrastructure, their people, is just amazing. It's just amazing, and it's what Professor has been teaching us for years and years and years. He took us on a tour to say, look, this is a possibility. And it just was a wonderful, eye-opening experience. as a martial artist, as a person, as a family person. It just, it was a sort of a big milestone in my training in Purple Dragon. It was once in a lifetime, but to be done many, many times again. It was the first experience. It was so magical to experience it with my teacher, who has been speaking about this since I've been a little child, and to actually live it. It was just a tremendous experience. It was a tremendous experience to be done over and over and over, as much as I could possibly do it with Professor and the rest of the dojo. Everybody who went to Japan had the one impression. They say, wow, that is the place to live. That's the place to sit around. It was just so nice, because as martial artists, as Donjitsu practitioners, I think it just, Japan and Donjitsu fits, it's a nice fit, and we felt very comfortable.
What have you brought back from this whole experience?
It was a confirmation of what Professor teaches us in the dojo, and the Donjitsu lifestyle. It's a good thing. We saw it happening in our society and practicing. It confirmed in our minds that what we were taught by our instructors, authentic, real, and true. It was from the heart, and it was just tremendous. It was a confirmation for me. It was just saying, it was the final push. So be it. It is so. So because push means so be it. It is so. So it was a it is so experience in Japan.
Well, you all took this art form that was created in Trinidad to a country which is known for their own martial arts. I mean, that's a huge achievement. This has happened, that's going on until now, because after this interview, we're going to see. Trinidadians don't know what Purple Dragon is and what you're accomplishing. How do you intend to sensitize, those who you meet, the students, but also the public about this great art that was formed on that redwood tree in Ghana, owing to Japan, country which is known for their martial art? I mean, this is huge.
Well, we continue to do the work, George. We continue to spread Professor's teaching through our various dojos, teach our students, pass on the teaching, and to encourage them to become black belts, to become instructors, and go out in their communities and keep spreading the word. That is evangelical, as you would say. So that is the work of Donjitsu. It continues and it's ongoing, and we're working really hard to assist Professor, because we have a saying in Purple Dragon is modern in concept, but ancient in character. So although it's 40 plus years, it has a character of thousands of years old, because Professor brings to the table teachings from many of his generations. He puts it in us, we can multiply it, we don't just add, we multiply. So we work really hard, working with Professor and assisting Purple Dragon and growing it as an organization as best we could.
Yes, George. As she and Gary said, it was a confirmation going to Japan. And Japan, as you said, being a country that popularized the martial arts, it was awe-inspiring to me as a Donjitsu practitioner, that when we were in Japan, all the things that we practiced in the dojo, you actually were seeing it on a countrywide scale. Everything that Professor taught us, from bowing, the way we place our shoes, we were doing a demonstration, and an amazing thing happened. Professor took us to castle to do a demonstration, and while we were demonstrating, Japanese tourists who were there visiting the castle were taking pictures of us, but not just of us, of our shoes, the way we had placed our shoes before we stepped on the lawn to do our demonstration. They were taking pictures of it because in their eyes they were seeing people who came from somewhere else and practicing that discipline. Everybody had placed their shoes neatly in a line, and we do that in Purple Dragon. We are taught that, so we do that naturally. It was easy for us to visit most of their shrines and whatnot, because to bow, to remove our shoes, place them neatly and step into it. That's normal to us. Professors taught us all those things. And as you were asking about what we bring back to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and our students and whatnot, you see that confirmation that the discipline we're practicing is right in our minds and in our hearts. When you step on the floor now and your students line up there and you're teaching them, it's with a certainty, not with just a belief, but with a certainty. I know that what we're doing is the right thing. I've seen it practice, I've seen the benefits of it. Just, they call it samurai spirit over there. Just the way they live has transcended over the entire country in such a way. We were at pains to find a scrap of paper somewhere on the floor, or cigarette butt or something like that. Anyway, no, not just in the big cities, but also in the countryside. That's how they live. That's how they exist. They follow that martial arts code, that samurai spirit. And you know, as a martial arts practitioner for more than 4 decades myself, it was really, really, really gratifying. I felt good in my heart when Professor took me there, exposed me to the show.
Again, your first visit?
This was my first visit in Japan, but not my last. As long as I've had that strength, and Professor would go in again. The place was pristine, clean, and it's because of the way the people are, the way they think. They clean thoughts, clean minds, clean bodies. The country is clean. The country is clean. We couldn't find a dustbin, a garbage bin. There were no garbage bins about the place. Why? They don't walk and eat. So there's no garbage being generated to throw anyway. You understand? When we did see one at a mall, there was someone cleaning, you know those big silver bins that you see in Forest Bay? Someone was spraying it and cleaning it, having removed all the garbage from it, cleaning it. Have you ever seen someone clean a garbage bin like that? And giving it some nice scent and whatnot? Spraying it up nicely, that's what was being done. That is the culture of the people of Japan. And if there's anything I could bring back to Trinidad and Tobago, my students, is as much as possible that concept, that idea of being clean. And our teachers in Dojutsu, we leave things better than we find them. Every time you're coming to a building, when you leave, you must leave it better. You must leave the people better, leave something in them by just having talked to them, give them something good. Those are the tenets of the Dojutsu system. And the Japanese, they're really smart because they recognize this. When they saw Professor, they saw us, when they saw Professor woke up. One of their comments was, Japan needs this. When Professor demonstrated, he came and said, the Japanese need this. You're so strong, but yet we still practicing it right. We have to be disciplined, and discipline is really knowing what is right and doing it at all times.
We talk to Sheila and you're the only female here, so you have to talk on behalf of her. This is your first experience, I guess, right?
Yes, it was.
In your own words, how that experience was for you?
Astonishing. Astonishing. The reason why I said astonishing is because, as Shian said before, you come to the dojo, and in the dojo you are being taught all of this. You're being taught the discipline, which is our key factor here, discipline. And you always hear discipline is doing what is right and doing it at all times. When we were in Japan, you hear the tour guy was telling us that, they start from in the womb. Professor have been teaching that you start from in the womb. So you start teaching the kids from in the womb. And when the kids come out and start to move around, you continue teaching. Now the teaching doesn't stop just with the parents. The entire country is responsible for this kid. The entire country look after this kid, from the government go right back down to the kid parent. Everybody's responsible for this kid. The discipline and the responsibility starts at the age of 6. This is what we were told. You actually see kids going to school at age 6. Their parents are not allowed to drop them off to school. They have their backpack, their name tag, they have a shoe in the bag, and they're going to school. From school, you actually see them going back home. The shoe in the bag, because of the fact that when they wear shoes on the road, it's not the same shoes that they're going to wear on the inside. That is the level of discipline and the cleanliness, the thought process which goes into this. They start from there. when you look at it, you're talking about, you see these young people having the discipline at the age of 6 years of age to actually go straight to school and go straight home. No deviation. This is what we teach in Purple Dragon. We teach the kids discipline. And Professor always taught, and you're seeing it, it's not what they leave for your kids, but what they leave in your kids. That's what Purple Dragon does. They're leaving something in the kids that we're meeting on every single day, teaching them because of the fact that we want them to be better human beings and better people. We want to work with their parents. Just like how everybody working together, we want to work together in order to make sure that these kids have a bright future and have a positive future. They make a positive contribution to our country because that's where we belong. We want our country to be just like Japan. Of course we would like that. And that is what Purple Dragon is doing, because every single person that comes inside of here, each one, meet one, teach one. That's what we do. That's our creed. That's our code. It's astonishing when you go to Japan and you actually see the roadmap, which is our dojo kun being lived out on a daily basis. On a daily basis, respect the value of all existing life. They respect human life to the highest. To the highest. They take from you looking from a kid. If you knock down a kid, the sentence there is death. Death sentence, because of the fact at the end of the day they're saying that you don't know if this is the next prime minister. You don't know if this is the next doctor to invent or to do something that you have never seen before. You don't know if it's the next inventor. So when you kill a kid, you kill an entire nation. That's how they're looking at it. So it's death sentence. It have no appealing, nothing like that. And you're looking at the elderly taking care, they giving back. That's what they're doing, they're giving back, and they're giving of themselves and their time.
Unselfishly.
Unselfishly, as Professor, unselfishly. They're not asking for anything in return. They going out there and volunteering to take care of their future, their young one. They want to put back into them what they have learned. They want to be able to share that information and that knowledge so that they can continue to teach their generation to come. So it's so amazing. You talking about summertime. Most of the times when it's summertime here, you're talking about the kids. We're going on vacation, we're doing this. You know what is their summertime? The government insists that on summertime, that all the students go out to the country and learn their history.
Staycation too.
Course, Professor, they stay within the country and learn their history.
Yes.
So that their history is never lost. They will always have a bridge, because the young generation coming up, there's no generation gap there. There is no learning gap there, because of the fact that they're learning their history, so they'll be able to pass it on. When the old person pass on, they'll be able to pass on the information because it's not dead and gone. It's just amazing. It's amazing. There is so much when you think about, the work ethics. The work ethics. You hear that when you start from the bottom. Of my Lord say, don't take the elevator, take the stairs. When you start a job, based on the information I'm getting, the job turnover there is not very fast. It is not very fast because of the discipline again. When you start a job, you start from the bottom and you work yourself up. You work your way up. You don't start from the top and then you get complacent and then you go up. You work. So when you start from the bottom and you work your way up, where are you going again? Where you want to go? The only way you want to go is to further your knowledge and information, because of the fact that you build a family structure within that organization. It is so strong. The discipline that they practice is amazing. And I am so happy and so blessed to be in Purple Dragon, Professor. And I thank you for the opportunity, because yes, we're Purple Dragon and we're being told this and hearing it and stuff like that, but to actually see a first world country, the entire country, not Osaka, not Tokyo, I'm talking about the entire country. And everywhere you go is the same thing. It is not one way in this area and one way in the other area. It is across the board. Anywhere you go is the same way. It's the same way. The way you treat you with respect, with love. When you go there, you feel like you're home. You feel like you're home. That is why we could all, feel so comfortable there, because we feel like we're home. It's a familiar feeling. It's a familiar place. Because that's what we do. Kanjutsu, and they do that too, because they want us there.
As a young woman, what have you brought back that you feel will better you as a young woman?
As a young woman, what I think I brought back that hurt me is that Professor always said the sky is the limit. And when we went to the Hokotai, we saw the youngest student there at 53 years of age training, and you saw that the student that was actually using the arrow, she was 78, and her teacher was 85. And then as we move on, we saw other female using the naginata, working out, and they were above 50. They were above 50. It didn't know if buts or maybes. It was above 50. So what it's telling me, and as a female coming back here and the second brain, age is just a number. Age is just a number. There is no age limit to what it is you can do, because the experience that you get and the time that you have to put into and the knowledge that you realize as you get older, the kind of wisdom and understanding that you have that you didn't have then, there's no limit. There is no limit.
Your experience.
George, wow. Going to Japan was a fantastic experience. I mean, the Japanese people, they have a culture that's unmatched. I mean, the consciousness of these people, the cleanliness of these people, not just the place is clean, but their thoughts are so clean, the spirits are so clean. We went to a meat market. And you know, you go into a meat market and you expect to see like flies all over, blood in the ground. Brother, this blew my mind when we went to this meat market. This place was clean and smelling like a fragrance. Unbelievable. All the meats were neatly packed. Everything was intact. There's this guy who was selling his product, and he wouldn't touch the money. He had a nice basket, and he put the basket and people put the money in the basket. So he's not touching the product and his money.
So I guess you're taking your own change.
You put in your own money and the basket, and you taking out your own change. He's not making contact, but he's watching you. But these people are so disciplined that they have nothing to, they're honest, they're very, very honest. And in Purple Dragon, we ever say, be determined to win. Professor was telling us that, be determined to win. These people are not just determined to win, they are determined to leave a legacy that's hard to break. And as my sister said here, it's come from in the womb. In the womb, they start teaching these people, and their education is on par, it's unbelievable. Going to Japan reconfirmed to me that being in Purple Dragon is the way to go, because there is hope. If you look at what's going on in the country now, it looks like there's no hope, but because of Purple Dragon, there is hope. And I define hope as H, having O, only, P, positive, E, energy. Because everything is an energy, as Professor taught us. Everything is an energy. But going back to Japan, the culture of these people, Brother George, I mean, see it and experience it is awesome. They would bow to a chopstick. And not just to the, to the chopstick, but to the people who made the chopstick, who they don't know. They bow into these people, but because of these people making this chopstick, they are able to take this chopstick and eat their meals. They would bow, giving thanks and praise, and bow is one of the highest praise. And as Professor always teaches us, bowing is like humbling yourself. And these Japanese people, they are so humble. Brother George, if a pregnant lady comes into a bus in Japan, she'd have to look around. They would automatically get up and give her the seat. If an elderly person comes into the same bus, they would offer the seat, and the person wouldn't just say like, you feel looking old or what, they would just bow and take it. The humility of these people, Brother George. As I said, like being in Japan was like being in heaven with the Japanese. It's serious, it's so peaceful. It's just like coming to the dojo in Purple Dragon. I mean, you're being taught and you're being prepared. And brother, the closest I've seen to Japan is Purple Dragon. So definitely there is hope. Definitely there's a way to go. I didn't see nobody wearing the pants below the mud in Japan. The police are across there, brother. Like the police is going to help people to just cross the road, but the police don't have nothing to do much, but they don't have crime. There's no place we saw across with burglar proof on it. That's just to show you that the people are so honest that they wouldn't go into somebody's house and steal. Our tour guide told us that what a neighbor will do if a next neighbor goes up and it's starting to rain, the neighbor would pick up the neighbor clothes, fold them up.
Yes.
Don't just pick it up, fold it up, Brother George. Pack it in their house or in their garden and leave it there for them. Wow. Wow. That is a wow, Brother George. So going to Japan was an eye-opening experience for me. I always wanted to go to Japan, but because of Purple Dragon and the teachings of Purple Dragon, I made it to Japan. And not just to Japan, it opened my consciousness to see how much work we have to do in Purple Dragon to really catch the kids from a young age. But that's where they started it, at a young age. As Professor Woods tells us, if we can get the kids at a young age to work with them before they pick up a gun. You don't have to pick up a gun. And it's always better to take a child from young than repair a big man. So let's work with Purple Dragon, let's work with him. This is the way to go. I have no doubts in my mind, Brother George. No doubts. And what I would bring back is the honesty of the people. Honesty of the people, the cleanliness of the people. The cleanliness, and not just the cleanliness as I said, but the thoughts are so clean. And when we in Purple Dragon, we do the physical. We build our bodies, but how do you build the mind? How do you build the spirit? These people are so far gone, and if we can take just a little something from them, that is what I want to take, their honesty and their discipline and their determination, to not just to make it, but to leave an unbroken legacy. Just like Purple Dragon, we have some legacy here that, it's hard to break, much less bend. And we keep going and going and going because we have an instructor. We have a good instructor who has a foresight to see what's going on. And I'm sticking with him and I'm thankful for him to take me to Japan to this eye-opening.
Well, we heard about the experience. What I would like to hear now is about what the tour was really all about. What the martial arts that you were taking, what was the purpose of taking it to Japan?
We had an opportunity to train and demonstrate in the Dai Nippon Butokai, which is one of the oldest martial arts organizations in Japan, where all the greats have been, from Funakoshi to Chujin Miyagi to Jojo Kano, we went up judo, to Murata, Yoshiba, Aikido, so it's hundreds of years old. And it was an opportunity, because I always heard about Butokai, that's one of the top warriors from professors as a child growing up, all the top warriors were taking Butokai. And I always hear him speak about having the opportunity to demonstrate at the Butokai. And to actually go there with Professor and him teach a class and demonstrate was just absolutely, it was like a dream come true. To have our kiais added to all the other kiais there for hundreds of years, you know, because we were in the main hall, we weren't in a side hall, we were in the main hall. It was just an incredible experience just to be there. In fact, my gi, I didn't wash it. I had Professor sign my gi and I'm going to frame it, you know, with a photograph while we were in Butokai. That's a once in a lifetime experience. So I'm going to cherish that. Every time I look at that gi, I will remember our time in Japan in 2014. And it was just a big thing, George. I mean, practicing martial arts for so many years since I'm a child, hearing about it and actually getting a chance to do it. It's just truly, you know, the efforts and the organization and the foresight of Professor Jacob to take us there, it was incredible. And when, as I think one of the Shians said, when the Japanese saw Professor demonstrate, they said the commitment was too strong, too strong. It was just like incredible, just so strong, they couldn't believe this is a non-Japanese with this level of skill and ability and strength and focus and Bushido and its, you know, all its glory, you know, it just was incredible to be there. In fact, I was so motivated to come back on the plane when we had the footage from Japan, you know, I did a little
on the plane.
Yes, we did a little edit of our tour in Japan from a martial arts perspective, and it was great, you know, it was a 14-hour flight and I felt that's the best use of my time to do that, and we put it up on Facebook. We had over 90,000 people look at the movie, you know, so it helped us spread our experiences in Purple Dragon to, you know, people in Trinidad and Tobago on Facebook. This is what we're about, this is what Professor Jacob has been teaching for so many years, and he deserves all the recognition and all the accolades for all the hard work and the lives that he's touched in a positive way. And this is just grand effort.
It seems that Purple Dragon and Professor, you are more recognized outside of Trinidad and Tobago than in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, had you been in America or some other country and you're kidnapped from Japan, taking something that was created in the home country, I mean, that could have been splashed up in every newspaper, every media house, you know, but there is nothing. So we get the impression that Purple Dragon is more appreciated outside Trinidad and Tobago than in Trinidad. What is the organization, or how do you intend to get Trinidad and Tobago to fully understand and appreciate what for the past 14 years Purple Dragon has done for this country?
I remember when I just started, martial arts here, teaching martial arts and stuff like that. There was some so-called Japanese traditional school doing Shotokan, and so well, it was just Shotokan. There were two other schools doing Shotokan was Purple Dragon. We had 3 schools in Trinidad in terms of karate type school. I had judo by my sensei, like Thomas and so on. But those people used to criticize us, call us, me in particular, sheep and wolf clothing, a fraud in disguise, and all kinds of stuff they used to call me, because I want what they, under their banner from JKA, Japan Karate Association, or whatever it is. Now, those same people, after years, after 3 decades, these same people, the things that we used to do, the color geese that we used to wear, the things that we used to say, the way we used to market, these people now, 30 years later, now starting to follow in the trail that we blaze. I would like to hear them, thinking about, well, what is this paradigm shift? How this is taking place? What is really going on? Because what we used to do is what the people now do in George. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not straying away from the question you asked. This is the question. This is what I'm saying. This is the shift. This is the reason why I had to leave Trinidad and go and live in the United States, so that I think that I could build and bring things back home. Because Trinidadians seem to always appreciate, it seems to me, a foreign product. I have a foreign wife, and I appreciate that, because she has treated me real good. I tried to find one here and it was difficult, George. A divorce. You understand what I'm telling you? So even that. So it seems like everything that we got to do, we got to be able to go overseas and find some kind of guidance, to find some light, to find the truth. We went to Japan. I take my students to Japan and they of themselves, the people in Japan is not 100% perfect. Like nowhere, everybody has a perfection, all of us. But we seek perfection. But going to Japan, we see the seriousness and the commitment of a lifestyle. We see what a lifestyle is really worth. We see it in work, we see the action. When we have watchwords like discipline, tolerance, what's the next one? Production. And when we have those watchwords, and those watchwords mean nothing. And then Purple Dragon, we're trying to push that. And some people gravitate into it nicely, some people helping us with it, some people encouraging us and motivating us and keeping us inspired, and other people disciplined. What's that? Who you think you are? You so disciplined, you ain't supposed to do that. Or you ain't supposed, they kind of condemn you and condescend to you if you're trying to be the best you could be. George, you talk about tolerance. You have to be able to try to tolerate them, but they're not tolerating all the good things that we have to do to make this system or community more worthwhile and safe to live in. You talk about production. There's no productivity going on to create no jobs for nobody in no serious way. No productivity. A lot of kids on the streets and they're thieving and they're robbing all kinds of stuff because they're talking about discipline, tolerance, and production. Where's the productivity? So in Purple Dragon, we try to be able to teach all those things and give people hope. And not all the students come through doing very, very well, which more could do well, but a lot doing pretty good. Some turning out to be doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs and good daddies and good mummies and good positive, people of all walks, you know, coming through Purple Dragon all over the world. And the service that we are actually given from since 1970 to now, for the last 44 years, is amazing to see how it is absorbed and utilized in the United States and Canada and the UK and other countries, the first world country. You know, you see people, even in Dominica, one of the instructors, they have his own home from teaching martial arts. And that home and his dojo is a 3-story building from teaching in Dominica. And here in Trinidad it's difficult for us to own our own building. We're just trying to now see if we can get a home after 44 years. So we're now trying to see if we can acquire land, property, and develop a purple temple. Now it's easier for me to do this in America. I live in the States now, between Trinidad and here. It's easier for me to build a headquarters, Purple Dragon headquarters, you know, in America, because if you see an opportunity and land and things to do, opportunities there. And the opportunity here, you know, it seems to me like it's a little more difficult. And we're homeless, but yet we're keeping more kids off the streets. I'm telling people, you know, your gi is your key. Your gi is your key. Because of this gi, I was able to take all these people to Japan from 6 countries. If I didn't have a gi and that was my key, I couldn't help nobody, George. Nobody would look at me. I'm a dropout in school, you know, but yet I'm doing more things than people who have PhDs and masters and all that, who looking for a job and going for this and that all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? So martial arts is something that people should get themselves involved in, and I'm so glad that 46 people went with me to make myself 47. To make myself 47 persons in one. Because all these people that went, they all going to do something and help because they were so positive and so I am so excited about it. You know, look, I'd like these guys to tell you about some of the things that we see in terms of the transportation and music on the road and the railroad. I'd like them to tell you a little bit about that, so you people in Trinidad and Tobago will know we could do this. We have oil, we have this, we have that. You know, and if people reach down and reach out, you know, people driving the bus, George, our bus driver had his master's degree. The guys who drive in the taxi have their master's. Guys who pump in gas have their master's degree. And they drive in the competition academically is tough in Japan. You know, it's beautiful. The cleanliness and all that, people cleaning the bus. Every time we step out the bus, the transport, they cleaning, they shining that. It's amazing. Some guys pulling a rickshaw, a tourist, pulling the rickshaw. And, you know, rickshaw is like a little bit, right? Okay, so they pulling the rickshaw. And this little old lady, every day they told me, every day she come and give these guys food. Because those guys remind her when that was the transportation in her time when she was young. You understand what I mean? And these young warriors pulling this and taking tourists around and they running. You see these guys calves and the abs and the muscle. They have a little thing on their head, they hachimaki on their head, and they're sweating. And she and other old folks that go wherever these young boys are and cook food and carry it for them because they're keeping the culture alive and they must have strength. And she doesn't ask them for nothing, she just gives them. We saw one lady, she gave them some food and she walked away, and she walked away and the lady doesn't walk over the old people. There's a young boy or a young man or a young woman doing something, the older one was going to give them nourishment, tell them stories. Yeah, we don't want to hear no old granny going from here now with the old self and stuff. You know, granny was like gangster or what, you know, that's the kind of attitude. We have everything is a joke and a tongue and stuff like that. We don't take life as serious as we should. Not all of us, because it have Trinidadians, you know, that is just unique Trinidadians and they're just special. So we're not saying all Trinidadians are this or that, because we know that whenever we settle ourselves down, we always, you know, we could stand among anybody in the world. That's what happened just from Trinidadians. All we need is a real chance, but who's going to give us the chance? We can't get a visa. If you have to get a passport, you have to say, well, I don't know how long to get a passport. If you go online to get any kind of information about the passport, the information online wrong. It's all kind of nonsense happening, so you don't know where to go. You don't know where to go, you know? You don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to turn. You have no reference point here. Or if you have any, if somebody like you, if they don't like you, you're going to suffer and die here in this country. This is my country. And I love this country. That's why I'm hurting so much. That's why I'm hurting so much. And that's why I went out to America, so I could try to open a door if it's possible for young ones to come out. I tell them, we have some schools in Boca Raton, top schools. I tell them, let's come and go to school there. We could come and go to the university out there. Come out there, and so they can come back, they can get here, they can come back here and make a difference. So you can't get in your way. fellas going to UB to take some kind of correspondence course and make it look like they're in UB and all kind of stupid thing on evenings. You understand? So you have to get serious now. We have to re-educate, motivate, and inspire. And this dojo here, I'm hoping that more black belts in Purple Dragon, good black belts in Purple Dragon, is going to not be affected and interfered with the mind by third parties. Third parties is the people who say, boy, you can't make nothing with no sports in this country. You know, you're wasting your time. Why you go and sleep by Don Jacob then? You know, and all kind of nonsense. You know, I'm saying sports is a real. One lady just came in here. Just came in here. And she was one of the ladies who took out her son out of karate and just came to see me. Her son gets some scholarship. He's really bright. And she said, I now see what you were saying. Just told me that a few minutes ago, a few hours ago. She told me, she said, my son got a scholarship to play football or something like that. And he now have to learn to cope with the physical and to stay in university. He had to keep, you understand? But the reason why he gets it is through sports. And he having difficulties to cope. So what I'm saying is that in order to make it, you have to have brawn and brain for him to finish university. Here, come on man, come on and exercise, get yourself healthy, travel, save your money, come go to Japan, go to China. We were in China 2 years ago. We were in India, we were in Nepal, we're going all over the world. Purple Dragon is the place to be. We're not fly by night, we're constant, and from the time we started, our name is still the same, so we never had cause to be shame of our name and change our name from this to that. We're still the same name, and we plan to keep this name and to keep going. And I'm depending on all these fine people around the country, to continue. She and Thompson, she and Hewitt, she and Nicole, she and Hunt, and all the others, she and Timothy, and all the other Sheans in the Caribbean, and she and Pollard, and all the others, to keep doing what they're doing, all the young senses and senpai. And I'm depending on these guys to be able to pull these guys together. We're not the most perfect, but we're trying the best we can, and we're going to get there. But to pull the others together and to be able to make Trinidad and Tobago a place where, like Japan, no burglar proof again, and people can start to remove the burglar proof again like how it used to be, and say good morning to the neighbor, and talk to the neighbor child without being afraid that the child will come and shoot you, and all that kind of thing. George, in Japan, if you go to jail for some kind of petty something, you're going to stay in there unless somebody come and offer you a job. And when you get the job, then you come out of jail. Unless you have to stay in there, somebody else take it from you.
Do you all see in the near future, or what impact do you see in the near future people who are actually playing with people of this country? Bringing back all the different experience and the different countries that you all are going to, and the method of thinking from underground professor. Do you see in the future that can bring a change in the country?
George, well, you see, once we are allowed to continue teaching and edifying the youth, getting them at an early age, getting them off the streets and getting them into the dojo where we teach this Donjutsu, where we practice this Donjutsu lifestyle, we definitely will have an impact on the whole country. Because, listen, just hitting back at Japan, in Japan, being a lawyer, well, you better be in corporate law and not criminal law, because you will be poor. You know why? No crime. There's no crime. So a lawyer, very little crime. You understand? If there's an accident, 2 cars crash, boom. No need for no lawyer, because the discipline, they come out about each other, they exchange information, the insurance company will take that and they go, sorry, they say 3 times. Sorry.
They will fix your car, repair your car, no fight over no car, fender bender, none of that nonsense.
They don't do that because that's how they are.
And George, everybody wanted to know where we were from. Everybody wanted to know where we were from. We had to tell them Trinidad. We were all ambassadors, cultural ambassadors. Yes. We were unsung heroes. We went over there on our own. I mean, it cost, I don't know what it cost. Did anybody that cost them what it cost the Purple Dragon team to get over there?
Over $1.5 million.
Over $1.5 million. And that didn't come from nobody. That was at no cost to any country. That was people doing different little things and saving for the duration time. They know we was going from all over the world, and people saved the money, because it was about $30,000. People took loans, people took all kinds of just to go to that pilgrimage, George. And it wasn't money spent, it was money invested. You know, it was money because it was beautiful. Beautiful. Even when the aircraft was clean, you know, the people, it wasn't no kind of attitude with the stewardess. They were well trained, the flight attendant. They made us feel like if we were human beings and we belong to the world. Not like you come in Trinidad and one of them aircraft and the stewardess watching you like if you some kind of, something. I don't know, looking at you like minus zero, and they have a stiff neck attitude, you know, like that.
Don't go on any plane trying to grab your pass.
I know that kind of
You know, one of the things that struck me in Japan, all of Japan, I did not see anything that was out of place. I didn't see a broken window, a door hanging. I did not see one vehicle that dead. No buses smoking. Delivery vehicles were clean.
When rain fall, we go by a little river when rain fall and an old mattress and fridge coming on with the cold nothing.
Cleanliness.
Water coming down.
There are fishes out there alive.
I'm looking at the clock on the wall and it's coming to that time. But before we do, the local Shians, what is next for Coco Dragon for the remainder of the year? I know that you have been very, very busy in the absence of our professor who's doing this thing abroad, but for the local Shian, what is next for Coco Dragon? Well, I also want to find out, how Coco Dragon grown over the period of time that the professor has left?
Speaking for myself, the dojo that I teach at is present down to we have doubled the number. And we want to say to all parents out there, bring your child to Coco Dragon. You need discipline, you need order, you need character building. This is the place that you must have your kid. Call 6232368 for dojo closest to you. You will be given that information where the website www.cocodragon-dragon.com, and you will get a location closest to information, etc. And we will be more than willing and happy to assist with your child, or even you as well. If you have health problems, you need to get healthy. Your professor always tells us is a much lesser investment in yourself and your health now than to pay a doctor bill down the road, or if you have to have an operation. We can help you to maintain good health. We can keep your children out of trouble. We don't have to spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawyer fees. When your child takes the wrong direction, make the wrong choices, we will assist them to make the right choices, so that they can be productive human beings and they can give back to the country and to your family. 40 plus years.
George, one of the things is that we're going to have some tournaments. 2015, where right now everybody training and getting ready for the World Karate Championship. Will be back in Trinidad. 2010, it was completely sold out. It was just crazy. So this next year, again, we're going to have the World Championship. People coming from all over, and we hope that people will try to get seats early from now for July 2015. And closing, George. And I don't really want to say this, but I have to say this. Trinidadians have to stop paying for convenience and start paying for quality. Because people going to carry their children to all kind of karate school because they know the guy is a black belt. He's some green belt and he put dye a belt and put on a black belt. There's no place to. No, I'm saying this because those guys can't kick my butt. Those karate guys, none of them. I'm not afraid of these children, these little boys doing karate just Johnny come lately. When I was in uniform, there was in liquid form. There was nowhere around. When I built the road so all these people could now come and benefit from all my hard work, George. And a lot of people, Trinidadian parents, very lazy. They would take up the time and send their children to QRC and the Fatima and all kind of things. They had the kids in the road 4 o'clock in the morning. And to be able to balance that with a good, healthy mind, healthy body and discipline, they're sending them to all kind of fly-by-night thing all over the place. Some fellas who saying there's all kind of 10 down and they now come back from here and they have no stamp on their passport. And they interview them, it's a disaster. And parents just, parents have to stop doing that. Parents have to go around and come to Coco Dragon and you have 25 dojos here. Go to all of them and look at them. Go to all the other karate schools and look and talk and interview and find out people's background. George, if you're gonna marry a woman or a man, you want to know the background. If you're going to get a job, you want to know background. If you're going to send your child to go and invest time with somebody, get to understand the background. Get to understand about the school. Don't let somebody, Trinidadians, it seems to me like a lot of them very gullible for lies by these guys. They have to do background and send the kids. So when they send the kids, they see those guys and they like them, then send them there. But talk with them. And they see Purple Dragon and they like Purple Dragon, but they could go to different schools, try out a class for free, try out a different class, different schools for free, and then say, you know, my kid will go here, I will make the sacrifice. Doesn't matter the distance to find a Purple Dragon, I will make the sacrifice. Because ultimately, they're going to come to the States and train up there with me, I'm going to be coming back here, but you know, so that, but there's a Purple Dragon all over the world. All over the world. This is not like these other little schools that they have one school somewhere, and that is the end of it. They have nowhere to go. Or they might go to some tournament, to somebody tournament, but they're not affiliated or associated or respected or honored or will be helped by these people. You know, it takes the government 40 years to understand that. You know, the work. Just 4 years ago, in 2010, they gave me, you know, the Shikonia Gold Award and stuff, and I was looking to see if any other karate people were going to get it. This time, I'm sorry, but you know, nobody else, you know, these guys reflexes, right? Yeah. These guys are top rank, mashallah. These guys could jump over trees, chop blocks, and kill bullets, you know. So George, you know, so George, that's why I want to close by actually saying, parents should be careful and do their research. Check out Purple Dragon, give us a chance before they carry their kids everywhere. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have one or two good schools, but most of the good schools, some of them have some kind of affiliation with Purple Dragon, or they come out of the womb of Purple Dragon. The genesis was in Purple Dragon, and they spent a short time with us. But even at a very short time, the guys who came from Purple Dragon are a lot more skillful than those who had nothing to do with Purple Dragon. Even those guys. But the real deal is still in here. So I think if people want to really train properly, Purple Dragon offers 7 different kinds of discipline in one run. You get them cutters, that's one class. And the basic weapons is one class. Sparring, that is another class. That is, you know, self-defense, that's another class. Then the lectures and the philosophy, that is the next class. And so on and so on. So all these classes are packed into one. So people getting a holistic a conclusion when they come here to practice martial arts, Donjitsu. Donjitsu is not a style, it's a lifestyle. Some people talking about MMA is the best and all that. Most of them guys have hip replacement in the 35 years. People haven't had problem in the States, they're just suing a bunch of people sending the children to MMA and all kinds of stuff, saying it's the best martial arts and stuff like that. But the lifespan is short. I'm doing this for 50 years. And I could get up and run and jog and all kinds of stuff. You're doing MMA, and I started with judo, with grappling. I box, I did all kinds of stuff, I get my teeth knocked out. I know how to fight. But what I'm saying is, guys, the kind of stuff that they're doing, it hasn't been tested. Because just recently, the MMA came out, and people get hurt badly. So, you know, that is something that we should look at. I think they should come into a safe, respectful environment. Safe environment, and that is Purple Dragon.
Well, we have Shiana. 2 minutes. Closing comments.
Closing comments. Endorsing what Professor Jacob said, because one of the greatest books I ever read said that, beloved above all things, I wish that you prosper and be in good health. Being in Purple Dragon keeps you healthy. There's nowhere else to go. We look at the kids, we take their education serious, we talk with their parents, we check to see how they've been performing in school. Yeah. So it's very, very holistic. We need that cooperation. This is definitely the way to go. If you want good, positive results and positive way to go, Purple Dragon is the way. There's no 2 ways about it, Brother George. No 2 ways about it.
Alright, what I would like to say in closing is that Purple Dragon is about team effort. We are asking the parents to work with us, because at the end of the day, when the kids leave the dojo, the teaching still continues. It starts in the dojo, but it continues even more when they leave. We need your support. We need you here supporting the kids, being a part of it. Well, on this trip too, what I've observed, some of the parents that actually came on the trip, they get an opportunity to understand what it is Purple Dragon have been teaching. Because as Professor said, it was a bonding process for some of the parents, because they now understand why Little Johnny would move a certain way and why Little Johnny would practice a certain way, because they see it and they now understand that the lifestyle in which we're teaching in Purple Dragon is holistic, and we are a first world school in a third world country, and they get the opportunity to experience that with their own 2 eyes. They get an eye opener. So we are telling you, Trinidad and Tobago, this is it. Purple Dragon is it? You need to be a part of it.
George, as we speak here, as you're speaking here to us, we have Americans on the floor outside there right now. Come here to study. On the floor from overseas. You're big American? On the floor because I'm here. Come here, they're on the floor right now.
George, thank you, Professor. George, in closing, I would like to say first thank you to Axe for highlighting the work of Professor Jacob and Purple Dragon and our Dungeon system. I have a dojo where I have a lot of kids, and I've seen these kids grow up, do well in school, and continue practicing the martial arts. On less days when lessons come around, but they stick with the martial arts and they did their studies, and I've seen them pass the SEA. I've seen them go on and get their CXC and get congratulations to them as they continue to do that. Go on to university level, go and study and become a lawyer and come back and still in Purple Dragon. Purple Dragon works. No parent should take their child out because exam coming out. Because we at Purple Dragon, we exemplify that. We are in their corner, we support them where education is concerned. But as Professor said, we believe in a strong mind and a strong body.
Usually, Professor, we've seen it many times with teaching of Donjitsu. You get a mess, you take it masters. So the help on the teachers and the curriculum that is laid out in Donjitsu, Purple Dragon, it's world class. You get university level instructions from well taught, strong philosophy, strong ethics, and very well taught out deadly martial arts, but in a controlled environment. Because Professor teaches us that we're not teaching people to fight, but to fight back. Every kata in Donjitsu starts with a block. It doesn't start with an attack. So it's on the physical level, it's deadly, it's defensive, and it's unstoppable. The character building is second to none, and at the end of the day, you end up with a masterpiece when you come through the Purple Dragon.
Well, viewers, we have come to the end of a very interesting segment here on our television network, the Purple Dragon segment. And it was indeed made my honor and privilege to be seated amongst some of the greatest martial artists in the world, and more or less the hierarchies of the Purple Dragon International family. I want to say a special thanks to Shian Gary Hunt, Shian Thompson, Professor Don Jacob, Shian Nicole, and Shian Hewitt for spending this time with us and enlightening the citizens and the viewers of Trinidad and Tobago. And we will always be here to bring the information to you, the viewers, of what is happening with Purple Dragon International. And I can boast and I can say without fear, I have been to other martial arts tournaments, I have been to other schools, none come close to Purple Dragon International, and I stick with that. So again, thank you very much. I hope that you did enjoy this time spent here. So again, we thank him, thank you, Shians, and we say tonight from the offices of Purple Dragon here, the headquarters actually, in Maritime.
As a student of Donjitsu Ryu, I will respect the value of all existing life, seek the true motivation of life, be humble, build a good character, build a strong universal self, build my techniques within an unshakable manner, use Donjitsu Ryu for success and ultimate perception, and provide security for loved ones, for country, and what's right. No pain, no gain. Surpass ourselves. Today is a reality. Tomorrow is a promise. Yesterday was history. I believe in Purple Dragon Donjitsu Ryu system because I believe in me. Thank you very much. Love you. Bush. Thank you.